This is Brownie's Podcast!
Hey, welcome to Brownie's Podcast. What a goddamn round of football. But just quickly, if you live in Melbourne, last night, I was laying up watching some shitty movie, and it sounded like...
What movie? What's the title of that movie?
And it wasn't shitty, it was Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, that's an absolute
that?
classic.
One of the greats. Anyway.
I thought you may have been one of those sort of movies you watch you have to have a subscription for.
Oh, no, not one of those, John. I don't know what you're talking about.
11:41 was
Right.
the exact moment.
So, Dog, when it happened, just because I'm in an old heritage building, it sounded like a meth head was bashing in my door trying to invade my home.
Yeah, it did.
It was
I was
up.
concerned because Cole's car got broken into the other night
Yeah.
while I was asleep, and some good footage on the security cameras, by the way. I thought, look how they've gone one step further. They've decided to come into the house. I was on my own in there. I was like Bruce Wayne just sitting up in I was waiting for Alfred the butler just to bring me my supper.
Can you think of a worse house to break into? Like, you'd think, it's going to be like a 60-year-old man and he'll stay in there. Imagine breaking into Jonathan Brown's house and he's greeting you at the top of the stairs.
Because Brownie would lock you in for the kill.
Just push the sliding door and press the little latch down.
Robber.
I'd be like Hannibal Lecter. I'll tell you what I do have. Yeah. As a little bit of security.
A Chianti and fava beans.
I've got some. No, what I have is Nick Jewell scored a double century in the Sheffield Shield final years ago against Queensland. They lost. But he gave me that bat. And that is the bat that now sits inside the door for when any intruders decide to walk in and have a crack at the title.
Did you shit yourself?
I was sitting up about to watch the Monaco Grand Prix, and I heard the big rumble and then the shake. 4.7 magnitude it was in the earth. So, and only 29 k's from Melbourne, so we were right under it.
It didn't feel as big as the one a couple of years ago, though. I know it was bigger on the Richter scale, but me and Dino were interviewing Nathan Jones. I think Pangy was in there as well. We interviewed him a couple of years ago.
Mate,
and during the interview...
You see the
everyone
mics in the
started
video.
shaking.
Yeah, you see everyone's microphones going.
Yeah.
That was big, eh?
I like it. I liked it though.
So that was thrilling.
It wasn't scary. You know what I mean? Like,
Mine last night was scary because it sounded like a home intruder.
Yeah.
Home invader.
Yeah, and you're in amongst big buildings.
Yeah.
One of them topples over, you're
See, it's probably dangerous, obviously, when you're in a city. But, Dog, you live out on a big property. You're probably fine, right?
Oh, safe
as
as
long as
houses.
you can get kind of into an open field. What's the worst that could happen? The ground shakes a bit.
The ground opens and swallows you.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe
What did the horses do? Did they sort of play up a
Great
little
question.
bit?
I didn't.
Nay.
I
Bit of that.
just turned the Grand Prix back up and went back to eating my M&Ms on the couch. I was oblivious, mate, to everything.
I tell you what, I know we're going to watch Bucks play footy, but one on the bucket list down the track might be the Monaco Grand Prix, boys.
Yes.
Looked nice, didn't it?
Or Vegas.
You know, I had some
Ooh,
mates
yeah.
go over to the Monaco Grand Prix because Colby and Arch used to go all the time, right?
They run trips.
They do.
For people.
They reckon at some establishments over there, if you went and ordered a still water behind the bar,
Yes.
and it you know the long thin ones that
Yes.
come, they're quite nice bottles,
Like Voss or something?
€100 for a bottle of water.
I mean,
Mate, over that weekend,
That's not
because
fun.
the billionaires rolling off their yachts, mate, and they couldn't give two stuffs about
much it costs.
their drink orders. Yeah, outrageous, but looks great, doesn't it?
Oh, amazing.
it's a rich person's sport, that shit.
You got to be on a boat,
Yeah.
or even a tender,
Yeah.
not even one of the big boats.
Yeah, just a boat. Well, that's what Colby and Archie used to organise. They'd have the parties on the boats after the race.
What a rot, by the way. Their families are back home and they're working,
They are.
taking piss heads
For
on
the
a
tour
yacht.
company, yes.
They tell a great story about how Justin Bieber and his crew sort of walked onto this yacht and said, "Hey guys, I want to take over this space. Can you guys jump off?" And they said, "Hang on a second, Bieber, we've paid for this. All these people are paying customers of ours. This is our boat, not yours."
Justin, you little shit.
And they said, "Oh, do you reckon we can sort of use a part of it?" So they said yes.
Okay.
And he tried to rope off a little area because they thought, how good's this? Justin Bieber, good publicity, but he didn't last long.
Who would win in a fight between Justin Bieber and Glenn Archer?
Great question, John.
No.
Great question.
Arch would eat him and then throw him overboard like Pearl.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Could you imagine that matchup?
Mate, Bieber's a little scrawny, singer.
No, he'd
Justin
snap
alone.
you in half.
Hey, round 11 was a cracker.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
My name is Dean Thomas, and these are my thoughts of the round.
Country practice is
I know,
back.
he always forgets which song he plays.
I
so he
couldn't
sometimes
find the
plays
weed one.
The weed song.
I couldn't find the
Yeah,
weight
I
song.
love this.
What a round. Carlton, what do you say? Probably nothing, really.
I declared them Friday night and they were piss poor.
The goal kicking thing is spread through the club like COVID. All the players need to isolate and not come out until they can kick straight.
That's a good point. I'm very concerned that a player on close to $1 million, he's showing some mental frailties
Right.
in front of goal. Now, I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Harry Mackay.
Poor boss. I feel sorry for him.
I feel you feel for him, but not since Ian Baker Finch completely capitulated on the golf course years ago. Have we seen the guy get the yips like this? But you know what, Dino?
It's fixable.
It's fixable, but it's part of his job.
Shit.
So you got to eat up the pressure. You got to suck it up.
It's
You
that-
got to embrace it.
But the whole team's catching that shit kicking. As I said, like COVID, they need to all isolate, and they shouldn't be allowed to leave the state until they can achieve the very achievable task of kicking a large ball through a space that is the size of a Toyota Kluger.
Great point. Oh,
Well played.
jeez, that's very
Well
impressive.
delivered.
Good dimensions, Dino.
Thank you, mate. A bit of range in
Well
that.
done.
Turns out the Dockers may not be shit. Just like last season, they upset the D's at the G at the midway mark, and that sort of set up their season. They made the finals.
number one scoring side in the competition over the last 5 weeks now,
Mate.
the Dockers. So they've got their offensive mojo happening.
Gold Coast.
Do you think that back
Yeah.
on Melbourne? Are Melbourne just
Going.
Are they still a bit suffering from that 21 flag?
Just going. Yeah, they're a good enough side to be in the mix, but they show some frailty, some weaknesses.
How's your boy Stephen May going? Like, how's he going? Like, when in terms of the real want and the will to stop teams or his opponents kicking goals against him.
I think they're not defensively as well structured as they have been in the past 18 months. Yeah.
And you look at them, and they're not as. You look at other teams that haven't gone to the grand final, haven't won a flag, and they're just that little bit more desperate. It's the Port players, you see, it is
All right,
absolutely everything. Everything to
Bang!
them. They
Are
try.
they lacking a little hunger?
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
They're not peckish enough, John.
Absolutely.
Gold Coast rolling the doggies. That's pretty wild.
It's good. No, they're a good
Does
side.
Stewie Jew have a pulse?
Well, I'll tell you what he's got.
Good weekend.
Yes.
He's got a good appetite.
Okay.
Well, that's
That's just flat out bullying.
Yeah, that's a pot shot.
You son of a bitch.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is,
No,
John.
it's
you
not.
fat shamed him.
No, hey, you know what? He's doing a bloody good job in a difficult situation because if you were the coaching vultures,
Yes.
experienced coach sitting on the sidelines,
Yeah.
It's a
the
big
Gold
carcass.
Coast Suns is a very attractive
He's
job.
eating up the pressure.
The Gold Coast Suns.
Hey, you just fat shamed him.
Don't try and flip it on him. Hey, the Gold Coast Suns are now going to make their case for the flag for 2023.
I'll tip them to play finals this year, so I'm going to reluctantly stand by that tip.
Just like the West Coast Eagles, who didn't lose by that much this week, which is pretty good. It's pretty good.
10 goals.
Get Hey, speaking of the West Coast Eagles, I think this podcast should pay for me to go to Geelong to see Ben Cousins' Such Is Life tour at the Finks Hotel.
Did you see? I am so excited for this.
Are you coming?
Mate, so yes, he's doing a stand-up kind of like reveal or...
Is he doing
tour.
gags?
Yeah, mate, he does like the whole thing. So he goes about his life, and apparently there's like lighter moments in it that's going to be like a little bit of humour. And I
He's
am
a good
could not be
storyteller.
more excited.
We're going.
We are absolutely
And this
going.
podcast is paying for
Don't
it.
you love that? The Such Is Life tour at the Finks Hotel.
Yeah, mate.
It's unbelievable. Johnny tells a great story about one of thousands of stories, I'm sure, when, Cuzzy was flying and probably a little bit
On and
off.
off.
During a team meeting once, like a pretty important review meeting, where the whole team is in, he left the meeting, which, while John Worsfold is talking, which you can understand because players have to go to the toilet, bathroom, they come straight back in a couple of minutes later.
Yeah.
He came back in the meeting room half an hour later with a coffee in his hand from a coffee shop about 4 k's down the road. He'd walked out, jumped in his car, down to the local cafe.
Got a flat white.
Got a flat white, came back and walked into the meeting room like nothing had happened.
The reviews say that show 3 is better than show 2.
Yeah, right.
Oh, really?
That's it. During Ben's documentary, he used to say, day 2 is better than day 3. Day 3 is better than day 4.
Now I know where you go.
Yeah.
No,
That's
you're
just
getting around the wrong way.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Kill me now. Someone put a gun in my mouth.
Dino, can we send you down? We'll absolutely
Thank
send
you.
down.
That's great. Do we all jump the gun regarding Saints? Is Big Roscoe a false prophet? Is that coming unraveled, dog?
Well, they probably overperformed in the first 8 weeks, and now they're probably where we thought they would
where
be.
they're at.
You know what? Jack Higgins takes that mark with 7 minutes to go at the top of the goal square when no one was around him, goes back, kicks a goal, 19 points, it's over.
Still going better than what we thought they're fifth.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's over. And Kings come back and kicked 4-4 and will only get better. So they'll still play finals.
Ross Lyon knows where that list his talent was. He knows they need improvement.
Collingwood charge on, and congrats to Steele Sidebottom on 300 games. A man whose name we all take for granted. That name is perfection. Steele Sidebottom.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's could be a great name for a porn star.
Other variations, iron
animation.
ore, hip rectum. It's a variation.
Yeah, that's good one.
Let that sink in.
Steel side boob.
I like that. I like that.
You know what I love about Steele Side? Only third player at Collingwood in the great history of this footy club to play 300 games. It's a pretty amazing effort.
It was sad to see him go out so early into that.
Well, let
game.
me say this. Knees.
Yeah.
Whoever designed the human body
it's flawed.
hates football and all wants us to
Well,
suffer.
mate, what do you think Oscar Pistorius thinks?
Oh, well, it's just...
I guess that's a good point, dog.
Let's flatten the mood a little bit. I think he
Not just knees, but the whole lower frame of your body.
I guess,
Steele
yeah.
Sidebottom was
guess
nice
it's-
touch by his neighbours to put the banner up on the street for him to
Yeah.
drive through to the car.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a nicer touch from his mate to leave the door unlocked.
Mason
Couple of
Cox
years ago
doesn't...
when he was pissed and walked out the
Sorry?
door. Remember that, and he couldn't get back in out in the street.
Yeah,
And
that's
looking back when he looks back at his 300th game and he's getting cheered off, right? He was in like proper all his clothes again.
Yeah.
You know,
Civvies.
like full civvies.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have been as nice.
Mason Cox doesn't get the proper credit it deserves, I reckon.
No one can carry him.
Good point.
No, he does. I think it's the best footy story that we've almost ever had
Since
in this
Jim
game.
Steins.
It's pretty great, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an amazing performance. It was good to see, too. His family were there and he was able to kick a real big goal late.
Yeah, man.
You know, in front of his family.
I mean, he very nearly was a one-eyed Collingwood supporter. If he lost,
was too.
that eyesight.
What a round of footy, and the good news is we're only halfway through the goddamn season. No one really knows what's going to happen, gang.
No, it's good. It couldn't be more even. And this weekend's footy tipping show, everyone would have only got 3, 4 or 5 tips because there were so many upsets.
If someone got all those tips over the weekend,
They couldn't have.
no one could have, right?
I doubt anyone would have picked GWS.
GWS. So is Toby Green, who's the best captain this year? Toby Green or Darcy Moore?
Or Bont, I reckon. You've got to throw Bont in there because he's been huge.
Yeah, first year captain I'm going to go
First year
with.
captain. Yeah, if you could flip a coin, you could argue Toby Green.
Imagine if Toby Green played for Collingwood.
Oh, yeah.
Or Essendon or Richmond.
No shit.
Like, he is an absolute superstar.
Beast.
When does he go, I got to get out of Sydney?
No,
honestly.
he loves
never
it.
will
He's
now.
heart and soul, GWS.
And unknown fact, I believe that he's got I think it's a master's degree in commerce. He's actually very
He's a smart kid.
Very
It's a fun
smart
fact.
kid.
That's a fun. That fact
He
is
works
fun.
at a stockbroking firm once or twice a week on his days off.
Nerd
so
alert.
Knows all his...
Ads, and next we're going to talk about the bus trip, and we're going to call Jordan Lewis because he played in the Carlton draft.
This is Brownie's Podcast.
Hey, this is Brownie's podcast. The latest ex-player to play in the Carlton draft was Hawks Premiership champ and Campbell Brown's old housemate.
Hello.
Welcome to Brownie's podcast, Jordan Lewis.
So, do you know what? I thought it was a tax man calling, so that's why I didn't answer.
Yes, especially after your performance on the weekend. Bags and bags of cash you would have left Bucking with, but you left them with a victory, Geordie.
I did. We played the reigning premiers, although the reigning premiers hadn't been going that well, but neither had Bucking. So to come up against the reigning premiers and win, yes, there was a little cash incentive at the end after the 4 points.
Oh, yes.
So the boot was full on the way home.
How'd you pull up, Geordie, with those those old legs of yours, mate? When's the last time you played?
Mate, so it's hit me like a freight train today. It really has. I thought, shit, I might still have it. I felt good yesterday, and then I literally woke up this morning and I could hardly get out of bed. So I don't know what happened last night, whether it was the earthquake or
Hey,
what
did
happened, but
did that scare the shit out of you, Jordan? It scared the shit out of me, that earthquake last night.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I walked outside and it was all calm. My head was spinning at about midnight last night, Dino. But no, it's funny, Brownie. I played and when I was moving around, I thought, shit, I'm actually feeling okay. And then I watched vision of me actually playing, and although I was running, it looked like I was walking. I was that bloody close, and just, it wasn't like I pictured in my head as I was moving around. So. No, my days are done.
Now, did you get a good old-fashioned country tag playing in the midfield?
how about this, right? So I don't know what the instructions were to this little whippet that was standing by my side all day. But
How old was he?
I reckon he would have been 18, and he would have been under 10 seconds over 100. He was the quickest little thing I've ever seen. So I would imagine that coaches said to him, hey, we've got this experienced ex-AFL player coming up. Just sit on him all day and you might learn a few things. And I said to the kid at the start, I said, mate, if that's the case, you won't learn jack shit today. I'm not tackling, and I'm certainly not talking because I don't know any pricks' names.
A lot of bad habits.
And what was the best?
Giving a bum steer.
What was the best thing said to you by one of the fans or one in the crowd? What was the best thing that was said?
Do you know what? It wasn't about what was said. It was about what I saw. And so I rock up to the game, and I mean, I know why there's a shortage of 79 series around town, Brownie, because they're all bloody up in bucket. They got that much money up there, the farmers. And so I get there, and I walk over to the change room. The change rooms need a little bit of work, but anyway, there's three guys standing outside the change room sucking back a few fags. I thought, here's a couple of supporters that just, they might be Hawthorn supporters or whatever, they just want to say hello. I walk over there, and sure enough, it's my full back, it's my full forward, and it's my centre. I thought, shit, how's this going to go?
Oh, I love that. I remember my captain, my first senior game, Louis, back home in Warrnambool, where we're from. I'm South Warrnambool, you're Warrnambool, but I was playing for South Warrnambool. Walked in and the captain was having a fag and eating a meat pie 30 minutes before the game.
Hey, you could argue that nicotine focuses you.
It focused me in Adelaide.
Even at half time, right? Like the coach is giving the address before we walk off, and I look up, and the same bloke's got a dart ready to go in his hand. He hasn't even got off the ground.
Oh, I love it.
Hey,
So,
can you see Buddy playing for the Carlton draft in the next couple of years, post-retirement?
I mean, there's things that get us out of bed. I don't think any amount of money will get him out of bed and up to the country. But it was a fantastic. Even when we left, I mean, we left about 8 o'clock, and I said to the guys, I said, "What do you do now? Do you go home?" And a couple of boys went hunting, and he looks over in the corner. There's about a stack of red gum about 2 metres high. He goes, I reckon we'll be here till 4 or 5 in the morning with a lot of wood to burn tonight.
Right, how good. Well, the task at hand of the commissioner, I am the commissioner, is to chase down Buddy Franklin, because we know Brown Dog's certainly been hopeless to chasing Buddy down. We know Geordie Lewis, it's his best mate.
Jordan.
Asked him for an interview after he kicked that thousands goal last year. Even Buddy palmed off Jordan Lewis. So
He won a
step
flag
up.
together, and it's like he doesn't know Campbell. It's up, man.
Mate, it's like he doesn't know me. Hey, no one feels bad. That's just the way that he is.
One more question now. We know that you and Dog live together. What are your fond memories from that time together?
Oh, Dog was a selfish roommate. Everything was about the dog, and we were just left to fend for ourselves, to be honest.
Rebuttal!
Is he a selfish lover as well, I believe?
Good question.
That's what Jess
I
told
think
me.
so. But to give you a bit of an example, we'd be playing poker. There'd be 10 guys around playing poker, and it'd be in the kitchen. He'd walk to the cupboard, grab a packet of Sakatars, and he'd hit the packet of Sakatars in front of him. He'd take all the ones with the flavour and then offer the Sakatars around the table with no flavour on them.
That's
Just a few regular blokes sitting around eating succotash.
That's unbelievable. Astonishing. Hey, mate, thanks for coming on. That was fun.
Good stuff, boys. Hey, thanks, Commish. Thanks for the roll on the weekend. I appreciate it.
No worries. Good on you, Louis. Well done, and well done for the victory.
Oh, man, that's amazing. And Sakatars.
Well, if you're going to eat succotars, you want the ones with all the
Correct,
nice flavour, the
absolute
barbecue flavour.
He's a selfish succotar man.
Do you know what's worse? When I eat the flavour off them,
Yeah.
and then I just put them back in the
all wet.
That is worse, yeah.
Dog, what was your favourite flavoured succotar?
always barbecue.
It was always
Yeah,
barbecue.
yeah. I love the
Always.
barbecue.
Selfish Sakatar man.
That may stick.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Brownie, Dino,
Yeah.
and the selfish succotar man with Brody and Beck.
Everyone around that poker table had 2 legs of their own, and the pantry was always open for everyone to go in and choose whatever they wanted.
That's his rebuttal.
Why do you need to offer the succotars to everyone on the
Because
table?
you're the host of the poker night.
No.
What?
Dino, what is he?
Tough.
He's a selfish shakatar man.
I can't believe it.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, there is a chance, hopefully a long time down the track, when we are burying you and we are eulogising you at the church.
We are gathered here today to say goodbye to one selfish shakatar man.
And instead of how people grab the dirt and they throw the dirt in, right?
Yeah.
People are just lobbing suckers, licking them.
Hey, not the plain ones, though. The barbecue ones we're going in with you. We'll be throwing out the plain ones.
Oh, Broads, we need an update about this bus trip.
Yes.
What do you got?
So,
Well, obviously needs to be suckatars on the bus.
Good, great point.
yeah,
And
great
dip.
point.
And
That is,
dip.
that is the catering. Just
Yeah.
suckatars.
Yeah.
So over the weekend,
Yeah.
a few people have got in touch and they've given us, their best audio, left us a voicemail as such, and justified as to why they should be on the bus. We've got a couple of them now.
Jack Hamilton.
He's the guy that won the hand that day at the precinct, and someone stole it off him.
Brownie's munted hand.
Yes.
A marble remodelling of it.
And he's been trying to find it ever since. And he knows the
Shit.
guy that stole it, and he sent him some messages, and the guy refuses to hand it back.
He gave us a good tip a few weeks ago to the WhatsApp group. We
did
loaded
too.
it up. I think his uncle was connected. We won a lot of money. It was over 10-1. But also, he's a younger looking version of me.
Good point.
Is he?
Probably-
Jeez, unfortunate.
Probably better looking, to be honest. So,
This is his case to get on the bus.
On you, Jack.
Lads, how are we? Listen to the podcast today. Heard there's a bus going down to watch Bucks play. I personally think I should have a seat at the last Lister party. Got in the votes. So I think, I've earned it there. Also, too, I've tipped you boys into a few good horses. We've won some money.
Yes.
And I was thinking, too, I could bring to the table if, we get bored, if Chicken comes on that bus, we could potentially organise a little boxing match to get that hand back. Winner gets the hand, potentially. Something along those lines. But, joking, boys. But, I'm keen. I'd love to come along. But, yeah.
That's a strong case. Also,
That's
I like
really
that. Nah,
strong.
just joking.
That is a strong case, I would
All
have
right,
thought.
Jack Whelan.
Boys, it's Big Bojack here. Definitely keen to get on this big bus that Dino is absolutely hyping up. I think I could be Dino's right-hand man and keep him in good line as I'm a fellow green brother.
Jeez, I think he's stoned right
A
now.
couple of Winnie Greens out there while we watch Bucks.
He's...
Winnie Greens.
Snag a few.
I've never
What do
heard.
you reckon?
I think it sounds
Maybe a
great.
couple of plantations.
He wasn't
down his
overly
way, so-
excited about doing that, was he?
Winnie Greens. That's new for me. All right, hey, compelling, Jack. Rowan Moore.
Yes, this one's a little somber case, and I think this is an automatic inclusion.
Oi, fellas. My name's Rowan, and mates call me Rocky. Me and my brother, a couple of old Fitzroy supporters. Now, this poor prick, only a couple of weeks ago, he's been diagnosed with MND. So we just sort of got a bit of a bucket list going on, trying to make the next 18 months be as awesome as it can possibly be. So, like I said, listen, we're a couple of old Lions supporters, big fans of Browny, big fans of the show. I was at your last party, had a awesome day. So listen, guys, if you can help us out in contributing towards making this next couple of months, years, whatever it is, to be as good as it can be, I'd really appreciate it. My brother would more than appreciate it. That's food for thought. Have a think about that and let me know.
Rocky. Well, obviously that guy's in.
I was going to say hard no. Come on, Rocky.
He can come,
You
but
pulled the heartstrings
don't eye
there.
off
Yeah.
those suckatars. That's all
Yeah,
I
well,
say.
we get behind the MND cause, don't we, JB?
We do. We
Yeah.
absolutely
that
love
could
it.
be an
So-
auto in.
I think that's an auto win.
And line supporters as well. So looking forward to seeing Rocky on the bus with his brother, no doubt about that.
Keep the messages coming.
There is one more thing that I want to say, and it was when we were talking to Geordie Lewis, he was talking about, the captain and the full forward and stuff that were having a smoke. And now that you two are long retired and your teammates are no longer playing, which ones of them still love to dart? Brownie, you love to dart. Pikey loved to dart?
Well, I think that in relation to the bus trip, we are still looking for security. That I know Pikey on the way there, he'd be fantastic security. Probably need security to look after Pikey on the way home.
Security for
But
the
I
security.
think we definitely, I'm going to toss up that we should be thrown out there. That Pikey comes on the bus trip.
Abs, mate, well said and seconded. Thirded. Don?
No, 100%. Yeah, I'd love to see Uncle Martin there.
Great.
And another one, Chrissy Johnson loves a quiet little gasper.
Oh, that'd be
We could
amazing.
maybe- We could get Jono on the bus as well. Who knows? But definitely we've got Pikey.
Pikey's in, all right.
Did you have any dart men at the Hawks?
Yeah, when Joshy Gibson would go to one of those highbrow functions, he'd always grab a dart with someone.
Did he smoke one, with a little thing in the holder? The little holder. That's sort of the way he rolls, isn't it, Gibbo?
Like Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, Audrey Hepburn. What are those things called?
I don't know, but they're classic.
They are
The
classic.
cigarette? Are they just called cigarette
They
holders?
jazz them up.
Yeah, they do.
I'd love to get a photo of Pikey smoking one of those. Wouldn't it be fantastic? Anyway, so we're making headway about our guest list on the bus trip because I think we've settled on a bigger bus, Dino.
That's essential, because you're right, we couldn't rock up with like 10 people. That's not enough of a
too
vibe.
elitist.
It's too elitist. We need at least a bunch. But more on that. Keep your messages coming as to why you should be on that bus. Send us a DM with your voice to our... is Instagram the best? What's your name?
Brody.
Thank you, mate. Ads! Back in a second.
This is Brownie's Podcast.
Welcome back to Brownie's Podcast. The movie that's out right now is Fast and the Furious 10. And whenever I think of Fast and the Furious, I think of the great man Ja Rule from the first one. Murder! Remember when Ja Rule's about to race?
Yes.
And then his lover said, if you win this race, Ja Rule, you can make love to me and my friend.
Yes, absolutely. I remember that.
But then Ja Rule lost the race, and it
he's
was like,
devastated.
Monica!
The sad time in movie history. I sat beside Joe Rule on a plane once.
That's
Brown
true.
Dog. A flight from Brisbane to Darwin. They're traditionally hot climates, so not much need for jumpers.
Yeah.
Let alone a jacket. Ja Rule jumped on the plane. He'd had a big night the night before. I went to ask him about his performance in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
In his overcoat
Yeah.
and his jacket.
Yeah.
He slept for the next 4 hours straight. But he woke up at the terminal in Darwin.
Let's never forget that Ja Rule was also one of the spokespeople for Fire Festival.
Festival. That was so good.
Everybody was sweating it up.
Anyway, back to Fast and the Furious. Number 10 just came out, and these movies have got so batshit that I love it now. At first, I was angry about how stupid they were getting, but now I'm like, this is so stupid, it's in another level of fun.
Fast and Furious 9 got a bit loose when all of a sudden they had a car in space.
A sedan in space.
Yeah, what the going on here?
Ludacris and Tyrese are arguing over the radio in space.
Even my boy Jackie Brown, he walked out in disgust, but
Yeah.
he wants back in. He's seen Fast and Furious 10, so he wants me to take him this week, Dino.
Yeah, take him.
Do you know how ridiculous the world of climate change is becoming?
Yes.
That all those environmentalist freaks, they actually want Vin Diesel to change his name.
Mate, that's just not true. You're just trying to upset me.
Well done.
That's just... Jackie wants to go to Fast and the Furious, and you should take him, but...
Well, last year we watched it at home because I said, hey, mate, you can't go. It's MA. So it's MA 15 plus. You can't go. You're under 15 years old. He was 8 at that stage. I didn't think it was the right thing to do as a responsible parent.
What age did you see Terminator 2? I saw it at 7.
No, I've never seen it, but I remember that I snuck in to see Under Siege when I was in year 6. I was 12.
I saw that in year 6 as well. Over in Perth.
Was
I
there a
still remember
scene in particular that made your ears stand up or your eyes go aruga?
I know the one you're alluding to out of the cake,
Yes.
but I more enjoyed the one where Casey Ryback, he threw the knife and it went straight through the guy's throat.
Right on, man.
I-
And what a strong name. Casey Ryback.
I forget everything about the movie apart from that birthday cake. Jeez,
Yeah.
as a kid, there was stuff happening that I never thought had happened.
I know. What's
Would
happening
happen.
to me?
What's
Anyway.
happening to me? But Jackie Brown, he's put it on me the other day. I said, mate, you're too young. He said, Dad, that's bullshit. They don't check anything at the movies. You just walk in. So,
Imagine Jackie Brown saying that over his Weet-Bix. Dad, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
so I don't know. I've got concerns here. I feel a little bit irresponsible. What if we turn up, Dino, and they do ask for ID?
Well, that's
So-
embarrassing for everyone. Jackie will panic. He's like, I'm in trouble, when really, chill out, brother.
That's
but a young mind like that, he will freak out, right?
Maybe you need a fake ID.
Well, I'm tossing that up. Do we need a fake ID for Jackie? Is that the
Usually
question?
you get one at 15 or 16 when you want to go to a pub,
Yeah.
but I reckon he needs one.
At the ripe old age of 10.
So he's 10.
Can
so
we could verify?
what's a reasonable lie? To say he's 15? So to the bare minimum?
Bare minimum has to be.
McLovin.
So obviously, Jackie Brown, we need a fake ID. I'm not sure how to go about getting fake ID.
Someone on the potty will do it.
All right, if you put a picture of Jackie Brown, just his face,
Yeah.
on the WhatsApp thread, I'm sure someone can make that fake ID, and I'm sure that would get them on the bus.
Do people still need to laminate them, or that's not a thing anymore?
I've got a laminator. So if they send it, I'll print it and then laminate it.
Is it a bit
up.
old school to laminate something?
No, Queensland, they still, because as we know, Queensland a bit backwards. And Jackie Boy, he resides up there. They still laminate up there.
They?
So maybe the lamination will get away. I think Queensland, out of any other state, you can get away with a fake ID for a 10-year-old.
Okay, so it has to be a Queensland fake ID saying that your boy is 15.
Yes.
All right, that's the challenge.
Proof of age card. Obviously, it can't be a driver's license.
Okay, Broads, are we gonna put this on social media somehow, Beck and Broads?
Yes, we can.
Get him to Photoshop just the jawline, make him look 15.
Yeah, maybe some stubble.
Just some stubble on this tiny
love
little
that.
kid. Tiny little 10-year-old.
If someone does this, the winner is coming on the bus automatically.
Yeah, fact.
Absolutely fair.
Astonishing. I hope Kylie's not listening to this.
We got a...
Now it's time for What a World.
Yes.
An anti-aging zealot spends $2 million a year in a quest to turn back time and look younger. And this time he's dragged his teenage son in to be his personal blood boy. Okay, so Brian Johnson, he's 45.
AC/DC.
He's a software developer. He wants to keep his internal organs, including his penis and his rectum, functioning youthfully, young, right?
Yeah. Who wants a lazy rectum? Not I.
He's got his 17-year-old son, Telmaj, right? Telmaj,
yep.
And they go down to the blood bank and give blood transfusions, right? Once a month. It's very, very, very expensive, as you can imagine, in Dallas. He also brought his 70-year-old father, Richard. So Richard, Telmaj, and Brian all go and they swap their blood. A tri-generational blood swapping, it was called.
It's fucked up.
And they receive plasma, usually from an anonymous donor, but this time he got his son to come in and he's trying to turn back time. So very weird behaviour, spending a fortune to do it. I don't think it would work.
No.
You know
Seems
what I mean?
a little bit... it seems like technology's still got a fair way to go.
What does he look like, Dog?
And if he wants his penis and rectum to remain young, just take Viagra or Camagra.
Correct,
you know what
mate.
I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And big thanks to our sponsor, Camagra.
That reminded me, so getting the blood transfusions, it took me back a few years to that story when it was the day after Derby Day 2015, right? And we received a call from about my father-in-law who has a pet chihuahua. It's called Sable, little tiny toy chihuahua that sleeps on the end of his bed.
Yes.
Now, he's got diabetes, and one of the conditions of diabetes is you start to lose the feeling in your feet as you get a bit older.
Okay.
So having a bit of trouble driving, pushing the pedals and walking, things like that. So over the course of the night, just randomly, this little pet Sable had never, ever showed any signs of aggression whatsoever.
Yeah.
Tom got up.
What's the dog's name again?
Sable.
Sable.
Yep. Tom got up to go to the bathroom, and he noticed a little bit of blood on the white bed sheets.
Jesus.
Right? He looked down. Sable had completely gnawed off his entire right big toe. Right?
Jesus!
So he couldn't feel it, obviously, because of the diabetes.
That's right.
They called the ambulance. Ambulance came, rushed him to hospital. He was in hospital for 2 weeks, needed a blood transfusion, skin grafts,
Jesus!
and they amputated the remainder of his big toe off.
Did Sable catch a bullet after this?
No, Sable was content in the corner. It just rolled over and went to sleep.
He had to learn how to walk again because your big toe is your balance toe, right?
Yeah.
Moon boot, walking frame. Took him a long while. He said to his wife, Deb, Sable's gone.
Yeah.
Like initially, I think he said, "Let's put the dog down," and then they said, "No way." They love the dog.
How do you look at that dog in the eyes knowing it chowed down on one of your limbs?
Correct. So they agreed to send it off to Deb's sister, away to a good country home where Tom would never have to see it again.
Wait a minute, a good country home in the sky?
No,
Are we
no,
talking
that's-
about?
I've heard, I remember that movie was a Snatch or Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels where they throw the dead bodies into
The pigs.
a bunch of pigs.
Yeah, pigs take care of
I've never heard
bodies.
of a chihuahua though.
So 6 months later, Deb misses the dog. They're having some fights, some issues, and he says, look, if it's going to make you happy, Sable can come back and live here, but one condition. The dog can never sleep on the end of the bed again because I don't trust it, right? They agree.
It's a reasonable condition.
Dog comes back, scratches at the door every night, interrupts their sleep, disaster. So eventually they said, righto, the dog can come in and sleep on the end of the bed. Now, 6 months later, dog had shown no signs of violence or doing it again.
So they're welcoming back to the bed.
Okay.
Right.
So they're starting to get a bit loose.
No.
Yeah, there are old rules that were in place. They're
Correct.
starting to loosen
Just
him off.
loosen up a bit, and
Okay.
he's starting to sleep more comfortably because he realises it was a one-off, and it's not going to happen again. Tom wakes up middle of 2016, right? Left big toe being gnawed off by someone.
You're lying.
Gone, mate. No, gone. That's both big toes removed from Sable, the little pet chihuahua.
Well, the Sable was just trying to balance him up.
All I can say is thank God he has feeling sort of just above the waist, because if it decided to gnaw on something else further up,
big
he
sausage.
would have been really in trouble.
What's fascinating is Sable could somehow tell that the toes were in play, eat-wise.
In play. I reckon a normal dog, if we were laying there asleep and it just licked our big toe or gave it a little nibble, you'd move and you'd give it a little kick,
That's
right?
it.
But when it did that and there was no movement...
That's right.
And the toe
Yeah.
probably smelt of a little bit of gangrene or something. I don't know. He just gnawed on it like it was a bone.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's disgusting. That's absolutely foul.
Degenerates.
If you put up a toe or a succotar for Sable, what are you more likely to go for?
Have a great week. See you, degenerates.
See you, degenerates.